Good evening, YouTubers. Knife Detector here. So I've been thinking about this topic for a little while, and it's not a new topic. In fact, I think it's a rather old topic. I think the subject has been brought up probably by other YouTubers, is what is the difference between traditional EDC knives, and what I mean by that is a classic lockback design, and then your more modern EDCs that some people call flippers, that are liner locks, lever locks, or some other type of knife that might have a G10 handle, maybe are made with different types of steel. So I wanted to go over some of these differences, the drawbacks and the advantages of each, in the hopes that maybe some of you will make a clear decision. Maybe this will help you guys decide which knife you want to carry. Do you want to carry Grandpa's knife, or do you want to carry a modern knife? I'll let you know which way I go at the end of the video. So we're going to review two knives today, or we're going to compare two knives for the purpose of this little discussion experiment we have. And I decided to, for the modern EDC example, use this 4 7/8 inch, 7/8 of an inch Ganzo knife. Now, this is a pretty common EDC. I do like this knife very much. It has a G10 handle. It's got a lanyard hole. You want to put something in there. These knives, modern EDCs, do come with a very good edge already on them. Many different types of steel is used today, but this is a 440C right here. It's made by Ganzo. G10 handle. As you can see, this knife has a clip right here, where classic lockback knives don't have clips. Most of them you have to use in a sheath. And I'll be introducing the other knife, which a lot of you can probably guess what I'm going to show you. Those of you that are experienced knife carriers know what knife is lurking there behind that sheath, or inside that sheath. But some of the advantages of carrying a knife like this modern knife is that, well, it's lighter. It's lighter. One thing that is advantageous is you can put this in your pocket with minimal discomfort, or any really, depending on how sensitive people are, of course. You have this clip that will cling to your pocket, and it can be carried on the outside or on the inside. And one of the nice features about this particular knife is that it's got this lever lock that you pull back. You can flip it, open it like that, and you can open it using this thumb stud. Classic knives don't really have thumb studs. And what I mean by classic, it's a classic lockback design that also has a type of indentation on the blade itself for you to stick your thumbnail in, so that you can use your thumbnail to open it. So this is a nice little Ganzo, or not little really, it's 4 7/8 inches, that I got for a very reasonable price. It's a wonderful carry knife. I do enjoy carrying this knife. One of the advantages again of this knife is that it has a clip, so you can clip it in your pocket with the knife being inside your pocket and only the clip showing, and maybe the top of the knife. Not a lot of people know you have it. Now, that can be either, in my book, an advantage or a disadvantage. An advantage if you don't want to draw attention to yourself. A disadvantage if you want people to know, hey, I've got a little something here that I might use for work. Something that I might want to talk about with my friends. Hey, maybe you have something you'd like to compare and we can chat about. Or just to let somebody know, hey, I'm carrying something. They're going to see this leather sheath and they're going to think, well, that guy has a knife. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's much easier to deploy an EDC knife like this, and some of these are called flippers because you can flip them open for that reason, and close them just as quick. But this knife that I'm about to show you, it's pretty much the standard. I don't think any knife collection is complete without a buck 110. And you guys know what I'm talking about. This is the granddaddy. This is the one that most knife collectors have. If they have a buck knife, it's probably going to be a buck 110. And Get a close-up of that Buck 110. This Buck 110, I was very fortunate to get on I believe it's a website called Let Go. And you wouldn't believe how inexpensive this Buck 110 was. I think I paid around $10 for this Buck 110. And it is a 2-dot. And those of you that collect knives know that the 2 dots place it around the era of maybe the late 70s, mid to late 70s. I do like this knife very much. The person who gave it to me did a little bit of cleaning on it, or who sold it to me, did a little bit of cleaning on it because it had a thick brown paste here that I think was glue. It was a nice young lady who, I think she knew when she sold it to me that she should have asked for more, but she was fair and she sold it to me for that price. Had a little bit of sharpening done, but for a 2-dot, after maybe 40 years old, hell, I'm 43, and I think this knife looks about as good as I do. So you can't ask more of that. So, features about this knife is that it's heavier. It feels heavier than your modern EDCs. This knife has had somebody use it as a hammer. It's got some indentations there. It's heavier, which means that, yeah, you can use it as a blunt instrument, and you can hit something with it, you know? It is a lockback, so to open it, you have to use this thumbnail indentation and pull it open, like so. That's the traditional way to open it. But for a person that uses knives quite often, there's another couple of ways. One, you can grab it from here and open it like that. You just swing out the bottom portion and you can open it just as quickly once you take it out of your sheath, right? And the sheath serves a couple of purposes: to carry the knife and also to protect the knife from dust and other things. So if you're not afraid of hurting yourself and you're practiced enough, you can probably open it that way. Another way is if the knife is having enough use that it's pretty smooth, the opening, you can also push it open a little bit. I'm going to go slow with your thumb and index, and then give it a flick. Oh, sorry, hit the blind there. It's okay. Give it a flick, and then it's open just like that. I'll do that again without putting a hole in the blind. Give it a little open and then flick it open just like that. So with a little bit of practice, you can use your traditional classic Buck 110 in that manner and open it relatively quickly. So it's not something that requires a great deal of practice, but you can do it. So some of the things I like about this is that you can open it quick like that if you need to. It's a tried and true workhorse. This will work for you and stand the test of time. It's got wood handles. If you like natural materials, then this might be for you. But this is a heavier knife, guys. And once again, to carry this, you can also carry this in your pocket, to be fair. I do sometimes just carry this in my pocket without a sheath, and you reach in and you pull it out of your pocket. Or you could use a sheath, if you wish so, to not have something that big in your pocket. And this is a good, strong, sturdy leather sheath. And you also let somebody know, hey, I'm carrying a little something, right? I'm not trying to keep it a secret. I am not trying to be secretive in any way. Look, there it is. There's a knife in a sheath. And it's handy if you're working in the yard. You pull it out and protect it from dust, debris, anything like that. So both of these knives are very utilitarian. It's just a matter of what it is that you value the most. Do you value comfort and you don't want to carry something this thick that weighs that much? With materials made of brass and wood, you want plastic instead, or G10, so, and aluminum. So you got to ask yourself, what's your compromise? Or do you want something heavy that if you really wanted to, you could use as a blunt object? You know, you have to weigh the pros and the cons. One more thing I wanted to do before I close this video, and this is turning out to be a longer video, is I want to weigh them for you to see what the weight of these knives are. So this is your Ganzo Firebird. And we're going to turn this on. We're going to set it to grams. This Ganzo Firebird weighs 127 grams. Okay, fair enough. This Buck 110 weighs 215 grams. So it's almost 100 grams more. That's like a few ounces more than the other knife. So knowing that, I'm going to let you decide what you want to carry for yourself. And I'm going to let you know what I prefer. You know, I do like this knife very much. I like this knife very much because it feels good in the hand. The grip is good and solid. But for me, nothing beats a classic. Nothing beats the classics, guys. To me, this is the knife I grew up with. This is what I've seen used. If you want to, you can use it as a makeshift hammer in the case of an emergency. Blunt object. Heck, you could probably even with a strike or strike a fire with this if you need to. You can take a beating and keep on ticking, just like me. So, without further ado, this is Knife Detector saying stay sharp. Please like and subscribe and have a blessed weekend. Thank you.